Hey everyone, back with me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to Catechism for Kids. Today we're going on a special journey back in time, all the way to a little village in France, to discover a beautiful story about hope, healing, and God's incredible mercy. This is the story of Our Lady of Pellevoisin. Imagine it's the year 1876. In a quiet village called Pellevoisin, there lived a kind young woman named Estelle Faguette. Estelle was a domestic servant, meaning she helped care for a household, and she was only 32 years old. But sadly, Estelle was very sick. She had a terrible illness, like tuberculosis, and the doctors said there was nothing more they could do. She was so weak, so frail, and everyone thought she was close to leaving this world. Estelle was suffering immensely, but she had a strong faith. In her heart, she wrote a little letter to the Blessed Virgin Mary, asking for a cure. She held on to a tiny bit of hope. And then, something absolutely miraculous happened. On the night of February 14th, Estelle was lying in her bed, feeling like her last moments were near. But suddenly, the room seemed to glow, and the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared right before her eyes. Can you imagine? The Mother of Jesus standing there, radiating peace and love. Mary spoke to Estelle, her voice gentle and comforting. She said, "You have been very patient. You have suffered for 5 days for the glory of my Son." Mary was reminding Estelle that even in her pain, she was offering it up to Jesus. Then Mary spoke words that are so important for us all to remember. She said, "I am all mercy and the Mother of mercy." Wow. Mary, the Mother of Jesus, is also the Mother of mercy for all of us. Mary told Estelle to have faith, to pray, and most importantly, to trust in the Sacred Heart of Jesus. She promised Estelle that after a few more days of suffering, she would either die or be completely healed. And if she was healed, she had to make Mary's glory known to the world. And what happened? On February 19th, after receiving Holy Communion, Estelle Faguette was completely, miraculously healed. She could eat, she could drink, she could move. All her symptoms were gone. It was truly a miracle, confirmed by doctors years later, that showed God's power in Mary's loving intercession. But the story doesn't end there. Over the next few months, Mary appeared to Estelle 14 more times. That's 15 times in total. Each time, she brought beautiful messages. Mary often wore a white gown, and on her chest, there was a special scapular with a red border. This scapular wasn't just any piece of cloth. It symbolized the Sacred Heart of Jesus, overflowing with love for us, and it reminded everyone of his immense mercy. Faguette saw further apparitions of the Virgin Mary on September 9th, 10, and 15. On the 9th of September, Mary drew attention to a small scapular she was wearing. Faguette had seen it there before as a plain white cloth, but on this day, it bore the red image of a heart. "This devotion pleases me," Mary said, "and then it is here that I shall be honored." Mary next appeared on the 15th of September, speaking of her concern for the Catholic Church in France. 3 further visions followed in November, the 1st of November, All Saints' Day, the 5th of November, and the 11th of November. On the 11th of November, Faguette set about making a replica of the scapular which she had seen Mary wearing. On that day's apparition, the Virgin told Faguette, "You have been working for me." The final and culminating vision took place on the 8th of December, 1876. The Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception, during Faguette, reported the Virgin Mary to have said, "I have many graces in store for those who wear this scapular with trust in me. These graces are my Son's. I bring them from his heart, who will refuse me nothing." Mary then asked Faguette to show the scapular to the local bishop and ask his assistance in promoting it. Mary asked for prayer, for humility, and for people to trust in God's mercy, especially for the conversion of sinners. She wanted people to wear the scapular as a sign of devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, promising many graces to those who wore it with confidence. The Blessed Mother also told Estelle, "My Son's heart is so full of love that he will not refuse my demands. I've chosen this particular place for the conversion of sinners." Think about that for a moment. Mary, our loving Mother, always leads us back to her Son, Jesus, especially when we feel weak, sick, afraid, or when we've made mistakes. She is there to guide us to his infinite mercy. That's why we call her Our Lady of Pellevoisin, Mother of Mercy. So what can we learn from this amazing story? First, we learn about Estelle Faguette, a humble woman whose great suffering and deep faith led to a miraculous encounter with Mary and an incredible healing. Second, we understand the profound meaning of Mary's message. She is the Mother of Mercy, and she wants us to trust in the Sacred Heart of Jesus. His mercy endures forever, just like Psalm 136:1 tells us. Third, we see how prayer and trust can bring healing and peace, even in the most difficult times. Estelle's story is a powerful reminder that God hears our prayers, and Mary intercedes for us. And finally, we truly grasp why Mary is the Mother of Mercy, always ready to bring us closer to her Son, Jesus. The apparitions of Our Lady of Pellevoisin were approved by the local bishops and later encouraged by popes themselves. The scapular of the Sacred Heart became a beloved devotion, and Pellevoisin became a place of pilgrimage, a sanctuary where people can feel God's mercy and Mary's love. Today, the very house where Estelle had these visions is a monastery. Cared for by religious communities, and pilgrims from all over the world come to pray and remember this powerful message of mercy. The sanctuary of Our Lady of Pellevoisin was under the care of the Dominican friars for 105 years from 1895, but since 1998, it has been served by friars and sisters of the community of St. John. A community of contemplative sisters formed the monastery of the Merciful Mother, and the friars formed the priory of St. Mary Magdalene. The main spiritual activities are daily Mass at 11:30, a weekend celebrating God's mercy around the second Sunday of Easter each year, Divine Mercy Sunday in the Roman Catholic Church, and the annual pilgrimage on the last weekend in August. Pilgrimages by groups and individuals are welcome throughout the year. So, next time you're feeling scared, sick, or sad, remember Our Lady of Pellevoisin. Remember that Mary is the Mother of Mercy, and she is always there, ready to lead you to the loving heart of her Son, Jesus. All you need to do is pray, have faith, and trust in His mercy. Thank you so much for joining us on this inspiring journey today. We hope you learned something wonderful about our faith. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Catechism for Kids so you don't miss out on our next adventure. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. See you next time, and God bless you always.